everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're in Traverse City at Groundwork talking about, clean energy, I suppose. Dan Worth, policy specialist, is with us. Is that correct? We're talking about clean energy.
Yeah, we're talking about clean energy, which is essentially everything. It's transportation, it's generation on solar arrays, it's efficiency, it's everything.
All right, we're going to try to get to as much of that as we possibly can. June 23, 24, and 25, correct?
Correct.
Clean, well, you tell me what that conference is.
It's the Michigan Clean Energy Conference and Fair. We wanted to host a big clean energy conference up here, bring together people from around the state. There was recently legislation passed that really moves things forward, so we're continuing the conversation up here. And then there's an energy fair that's happened every year around the state, and we, because of this conference, decided to bring it up here this year.
Okay. Now, why is it important, and this is a silly question, but I'm asking it for a response, why is it important to have a conference and talk about these things?
Yeah, so, you hear a lot about local food, local solutions. You don't hear it that often about energy. And so let's even stop calling it renewable energy and call it local energy. So this conference is about how communities like up here in Northwest Michigan can keep the dollars local, can keep the jobs coming out of our NMC classrooms, and really build an industry. So it's as much about the economics and building a locally grown energy industry as anything.
All right, quickly, let's talk about the 23rd, 24th, and 25th,
Yep.
correct? You're going to have some pretty cool things. Former Governor Jennifer Granholm will be a keynote speaker and things like that. Just talk a little bit about what will happen over that weekend.
Sure. So Friday night, June 23rd, it kicks off. It's going to be a screening at the State Theater of Revenge of the Electric Car, followed by a panel session moderated by Jim McInnes out of Crystal Mountain, with Jennifer Granholm, with the director of the Michigan Department of Transportation, Kirk Steidel. And the theme of that one is going to be future of electric mobility. Okay. When cars go electric and they're driving themselves, and what does that look like? What are the dollars to be made in that industry? How does that help Michigan and local communities? Saturday is all energy all the time. It's a lot of people from around the state, from the major utilities, from the government, are coming up to talk about just how fast energy is moving in Michigan and how we can accelerate and get money out of that process. And then Sunday's an energy fair. It's come on down, bring the kids. Ann Arbor Hands-On Museum is up with a set of exhibits. There's a solar telescope outside of the building, clean car show across the street with 4 or 5 Teslas. So we're just sort of embracing the clean energy vibe.
Okay, how are we doing? You sort of alluded to this with recent legislation, but how are we doing as a state? Because it seems like, from my vantage point, that things have been kind of a little hitching the get along.
Yeah, I think that's fair, but last year there was this bill that went through that required another 5% of renewables. If that's all solar, that's about a $2 billion investment over the next 5 years in Michigan, so that's a wonderful thing. And up here in Northwest Michigan, we're doing really well. Traverse City recently committed to powering their operations with 100% renewable energy. Okay. A lot of cities are coming on board. Mayor Carruthers is a major driver of this now, but it's putting us up there in communities like Grand Rapids and Ann Arbor that have done these steps of saying, wow, check out Northern Michigan and what they're doing. And there are a lot of local installers here who are brilliant and have been doing this in lean times, and hire local roofers and electricians, and so it's coming, man. It's here. All
right, let's talk about the electric car. What is what's the health of the electric car? Our cameraman Wyatt drove his Prius today, but where are we with the electric car?
Yeah, we're in the early stages of adoption. The movie Friday Night's going to cover the industry from 2008 to 2012. Elon Musk, Nissan getting in on the deal, Ford and GM. But we're at the inflection point. GM just came out with a new, relatively affordable GM Bolt that they're going to be pushing out. 130 of those are going to be autonomous self-driving. So you combine Uber, you combine Lyft, you combine Michigan car companies and Michigan auto know-how, and it's our sweet spot, man. So it's coming.
Am I a caveman for saying that I really am not down with this whole self-driving thing because it just seems silly? Let's not turn over all the controls of our life.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't all be robots. I agree with that. Yeah. But if it means there's 10 cars on the road doing the duty of what 100 individual cars that sit in a parking lot would do, if we can make it smarter and make it work for local communities, it's the thing to do. And Lyft and Uber are starting to spread around the state and into small communities. There was a recent announcement. So, I think if the world is moving this way, Michigan's the logical choice to be leading in terms of manufacturing and distribution and all of it.
For more information on what Groundwork does, where can people go?
Groundworkcenter.org, and we're a fantastic local organization, about 12 or 13 people work in food, housing, transportation, clean energy, and so it's keeping dollars local, doing things that work for the environment and the economy.
And a big shout out to Taste the Local Difference, which you guys are associated with. So Bailey Samp wanted me to do a shout out because she needs all the publicity she can get.
Send it back to her. They are a great partner, and they're sort of leading the way in how you do food and make it work revenue wise, and we're sort of using them as a model for how local energy can work too. So shout out to them too, man.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks, Vic. Appreciate it.
In Traverse City, talking clean energy and all that goes along with it, I'm Vic McCarty, My News 26.